Hello friends at home. In this video I will be going over today's religion lesson. We are on chapter 7, which begins on page 105. And this week we will be talking about loving God and others. Your friends here in the classroom are getting their books out and open to page 105. And at the top I will begin. It says loving God and others. Children, let us love one another. That comes right out of the Bible, the book of John, 1 John, chapter 4, verse 7. Boys and girls, everything has a purpose, okay? Circle the things that you would use in this playhouse. So right now in your book, go ahead and take your pencil and circle. If you were in this playhouse, what are the things that you would want to play with? Would you play with the clock? Would you play with the video game? Maybe you would read the books or play with the kitchen set. Circle the things you would enjoy playing with. And then down at the bottom, draw one more thing that you would put if this was your playhouse. What else would you want in there? Maybe you have a favorite stuffed animal at home, or maybe you really enjoy playing a certain game. What would you put in your playhouse? I know when I was a little girl, I used to love to play school. I had a school kit that I would set up, and I would have all the neighbor kids come over, and together we would play school, and I would teach the kids different fun things. So I'm going to draw the little school set that I had. Kind of looked like this. It had a calendar, and it had a clock. Oh, I don't have it anymore, no, but when I did, I used to have fun. Okay, so, yeah, it was fun. I had pointers and chalkboard and... Do you? All right, so go ahead and in your box, draw something that you would play with. And there's a question here. It said, why did God create us? Now, I don't want you to raise your hand and answer that quite yet. I just want you to think about that question. Why did God create us? As we move on and read the next part, okay? So if you're still finishing up your drawing, that's okay. But I want you to use your listening ears while I read to you about a man who questions Jesus. So Jesus would go from town to town teaching people. Teachers today tend to stay in the classroom and the students come to them. Excuse me. Back in Jesus' time, the teachers would travel from place to place. So Jesus was a teacher, but instead of having his own classroom where the students would come to him to learn, he would travel from town to town, and he would make wherever he was his classroom. Sometimes he was in a temple or a church. Sometimes he was outside. Sometimes he was in people's homes. Wherever he would travel, he would make it his classroom. So one day, there was a man who knew God's laws, and he had a question. So the man said to Jesus, "What must I do to go to heaven?" And Jesus said, "What is written in the law?" And the man said, "Love God with your whole heart and with your whole mind. Love others as you love yourself." And Jesus answered, "You are right. That is what you must do to go to heaven." And that comes right out of the Bible in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verses 25 to 28. God teaches us, and he teaches us through Jesus, that we must love one another. And we've talked about that love that you have for others. It's not falling in love, kissy, huggy love, I'm going to marry you love. It's the love where I care enough about you that I want to respect you and be polite to you and treat you with kindness. I don't want you to have hurt feelings or sad days, okay? So we need to love one another. We are called as Christians to love. And by loving others, that means we have loving actions, Isaac. So we don't make fun of people or say mean things to people or do hurtful things. Instead, we are kind to other people. We use those virtues that we've learned about. We are tactful when we have to have uncomfortable conversations. We have patience and kindness and love and understanding. Okay, we practice being polite. Those are all ways to show God's love. So on the top of the next page, 107, it says, why God made us. Now remember that question that we're supposed to be thinking about. Why did God create us? Now we're going to talk about it. God created us to be like Him. God made us to be good and holy. Holy means to be like God. So when you are acting like God, you are being holy. And we are called, as Christians, as followers of Christ, we are called to be holy. We are good and holy when we love God more than anything else. And sometimes we forget that, especially when we live in a world with video games and cell phones and all kinds of toys and friends. Sometimes we forget that our job here on earth is to love God first. Everything else should come second to that. And we are called as Christians to love God first. That is our mission, that is our calling, and that is our duty. We are good and holy when we love other people. So you love God first, then you love others. And we have to love people as much as we love ourselves. It's easy to look in the mirror and love yourself. It's easy to care about your own feelings. It's easy to feel sorry for yourself when things don't go your way. But it's not always easy to care about others, to care about their feelings. Okay? Jesus tells us that this is the way to get to heaven. What do you need, Austin?
Joy is for love Jesus first, then others, then you.
Right. Joy means love Jesus first, then others, then you. That's a very nice thing. I've seen that on many bulletin boards too. Friends at home, if you didn't hear him, he said joy. If you have joy in your life, you love Jesus, then others, then yourself. Okay, and it's just kind of a little acronym that helps us remember. We have to love God first, then others, then ourselves. It says here that heaven is happiness with God forever. I don't know about you, but I want to get to heaven one day. That is my hope. That is my mission. That is my dream. I know that my time here on earth is temporary. We know that we don't live forever. No one lives forever. Not here anyway. But if you love one another and you follow God's law and you accept Jesus into your heart, then you will get to live forever in happiness with God. Doesn't that sound wonderful, just to be happy forever?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for heaven. I don't want to go there just yet. I want to spend my time here on earth with you. But one day when I get to heaven, it's going to be amazing to have happiness forever. Oh. So it says here, find the way to be holy. Color the spaces with an X, purple. Then color the other spaces any way you like. If you don't have a purple, you don't have to tell me. Just pick one color that's close to purple, and all of the spaces that have an X should get colored purple. And the rest of the spaces you can color rainbow colors, any color you like. Okay, so take some time, friends at home and friends in the classroom, get this colored, and then we'll take a look at what it says, and then we'll continue. Okay? So friends at home, go ahead and pause the video, and then when you're done coloring this, unpause, and we can continue our lesson. All right, friends at home, we are just finishing up coloring our pictures here. Most of us have all of the parts with the X colored in, and we realize it spelled a word, and Connor is going to read us what words we spelled.
Love God, love others.
Love God, love others. Fantastic. So go ahead and continue coloring the rest of this picture till you get all the different parts and pieces colored in. And don't forget that we are called to love God and love others. I'm going to turn now to the next page. You can continue coloring if you'd like. I'm going to read you about St. Elizabeth Ann Seton. Okay, this is our saint for the week. And she's a very, very special and popular saint, so listen carefully while you color. Elizabeth read the Bible when she was a child. She prayed to God, too. She later married William Seton. She had 5 children. How many children? 5. Anna Maria was her oldest daughter. Who was her oldest daughter?
Anna Maria.
Excellent. She went to Italy with Elizabeth and William. William died in Italy. Where did William die?
In Italy.
A kind family asked Elizabeth and Anna Maria to stay with them. They learned about the Catholic Church. What did they learn about?
The Catholic Church.
Elizabeth and Anna Maria came home. Their whole family became Catholic. Elizabeth became a teacher. Elizabeth started a school for girls. What did Elizabeth do? Started a school for girls. Soon, other women came to help her. They became the Sisters of Charity. What did they become?
The Sisters of Charity.
Elizabeth was called Mother Seton. She is the first American-born saint. That means that of all the saints that ever were, she was the first one that was born here in America. Isn't that special? How did Elizabeth Ann Seton show love for God and others? What did she do? Mateo? He forgot. We just read it. How did Elizabeth Ann Seton show love for God and others? Amelia?
Elizabeth became a teacher.
She became a teacher to teach about God. What else did she do? Camila? She prayed. What did she become? It says she turned her whole family. They became what? Catholic. So she became Catholic and practiced the Catholic faith. And then what did she do? She did something. What did she start?
She started school.
A school for who? Beckett? A school for girls. And the school helped girls learn about God and Jesus. Fantastic. She started a school for just girls. There are schools for just boys. There are schools for just girls. The one that she started was for girls. So Elizabeth Ann Seton was the first American-born saint. She converted to Catholicism. That means she became a Catholic when she was older. And then she started teaching all about the Catholic faith. And eventually she started a school, and she started what we call the Sisters of Charity. Okay, I believe this one is Elizabeth, and these are probably some of the girls in her school. Okay, so boys and girls, I hope that your pictures look lovely. I hope you've taken some time to process all we've talked about. And I have a song that I want to teach you. I'm going to do a second video. So if you want to learn the song, you can go to the second video. Okay? So I will see you in the second video. Goodbye, friends at home.